They call it revenge tourism. Travel with a vengeance to get back at 2 years of pandemic. And so, here in France, which the travel ministry says is the world's #1 tourist destination, hotels, restaurants, boats, planes, museums, and shows are packed. And it's not just the icons of Paris the tourists are interested in. From Saint-Malo to Saint-Jean, plane load after plane load of travelers are heading for the beaches.
It's much better than 2018, which is very good for the shops, for restaurants, for hotels, which are full.
Demand is so high that one airline executive said customers will pay just about any price to fly. Luxury leisure, he called it. But it's not just high-end travelers who are obsessed with travel this summer. At a campground which caters to a more modest clientele, a young Norwegian couple, Anders and Sarah, were making themselves at home for the night. Because of COVID travel restrictions, they were stuck vacationing in Norway last year, so this year they wanted to get out and travel.
I just wanted to go on a vacation.
We just like the idea of being free in France and can travel with the weather and just explore wherever comes natural that day.
Yeah.
So
Fun traveling again.
Yeah.
Fun, yes, but complicated as well. They had to spend their previous night in a city parking lot because they couldn't find a campground with an available spot. You'd think, with business booming, there'd be nothing to complain about, right? Well, this is France, where there can sometimes be too much of a good thing. At Chemzi Abdelhafid's beachside restaurant, the staff is running what has become the daily lunchtime marathon, trying to keep up with the customers. The problem, she says, is that the restaurant is suffering from a severe shortage of qualified help. And like so many others here and elsewhere around the globe, she blames COVID.
I think they discovered, a new way of life during the COVID and the lockdown. And they discovered, to have evenings and to have family time. And now they don't want to change.
But there is at least one thing around here that has certainly changed. Sure, there are the crowds on the beaches and the big yachts in the harbors, but notably absent this year are the Russians. Their sometimes conspicuous vacation style has this year been blocked by the sanctions imposed by the Ukrainian war. At the Royal Riviera Hotel, Bruno Mercadal remembers well his Russian clients over his 20 years as director.
We're getting the whole tour of the hotel here. This is merci beaucoup pour that.
But especially one family in March who ended up paying their bill in cash after their credit cards and bank transfers were cut off because of sanctions.
It was more and more difficult for them to get cash from the bank because they had to go back to Russia to get the cash. So for some Russian, I think it has been tough.
Mercadal says it's not just the Russian tourists who have disappeared, but the permanent residents as well. Just up the road from his hotel is one of the 61 properties the French government has put on a Russian sanctions list. Ring the buzzer to see who's home.
Oui, bonjour.
And the property's caretaker will...
Vous êtes le gardien? Bonjour, nous sommes l'équipe de télévision américaine.
hang up on you.
Apparently doesn't want to talk.
Yet no one seems distressed about the absence of the Russians this year, especially since Americans have taken their place. You know what the headline in the morning newspaper says? The return of the Americans. And after 2 years of COVID, they're spending like crazy. So if you're traveling this direction this summer, no need to worry about the French economy or the Russians. But you might want to brace yourself for the crowds, the long lines, and, oh yes, the prices. Jim Bitterman, CNN, on the south coast of France.